Hi everybody, thanks for coming in for another video. I thought I would come in today again and talk heart to heart with you guys about things that are on my mind, things that may be on your mind, things that we may have in common. Things that sometimes take us apart, right? Tear us apart, which they shouldn't. So I hope that you enjoy this kind of chat video and heart to heart that I want to have on Monday nights. Usually at 8, but I am running a little bit late today as usual. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. This hair is just incredibly fly away these days. I don't know what the deal is. And I don't know. I need to try different products or something. If you guys have any recommendations for coarse gray hair, let me know. Let's see who's in the chat. Lori's here. Lisa. Hey, Dawn, how are you? And really what I want to show you what I bought, though. Because I have been going to the gym like we talked about last week. I'm so excited. That's one thing that can bring us together, right? Talking about fitness. It can also tear us apart, though, because there's some people who are just like, oh, I don't want to hear anything about that. Or, I don't know why. It seems to be like a wedge issue that it should not be. If you're not into fitness, or I'm not even into fitness either. I'm just into trying to get into some jeans again without being in pain, Don't take offense to anything we talk about. Don't take offense to talking about eating right or anything like that. That's the whole point, is that I love to eat. I eat way too much. And today I had a huge meal, but it was my main meal. I had breakfast, and then I had a chicken fried steak with French fries, gravy, and all of that. But it's not something that I had really late at night. I didn't have dessert. So anyway, let me show you the shoes. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Remember I told you I was going to buy some new shoes? Well, I bought these. They're New Balance. They were half price. I could not believe it. They were $25 at Macy's. And they have plaid. Look at the plaid. I haven't even tried them on. I'm sure they'll fit me though. I'm pretty true to size. I always wear a 7 in just about everything. So I'm so excited. I did splurge on some shoes to get me motivated to get to the gym. And I bought a couple of really nice leggings from the Goodwill that were in excellent condition. I always find Lululemon and all kinds of things at the Goodwill. I've found some good shoes at Goodwill too. New in a box. I have some German-made ones. I don't even know how to pronounce them, but they're really expensive. I looked them up, but I kind of wear those once in a while to work. And I had been wearing them to work out as well. But these are really lightweight, and I think they're cute. And I may even buy me another pair, I don't know. I need things like this to motivate me, guys. I really do. I need to say to myself, I spent the money. Now I'm going to go to the gym. And this is the same thing I did when I bought myself a really nice treadmill about 10 years ago. I went all out and I bought that name brand. Was it Solo Flex or one of those? Went all out and bought one of those straight from Sears, and it lasted forever. It really did. But it was because I saw it in my room every morning, and it was just yelling at me. It was, telling me, get up, get on me, get over here. Every morning that I would see it, or in the evening. So I was feeling bad. It was in my bedroom, and I'd really like to get another one. But anyway, that's what I did buy me, and I bought me some tights and leggings and all that kind of stuff as well. So I am going to go in a few minutes. As soon as I get out of here, I probably won't have time to completely put a thumbnail or anything on the video till I get back, because I spent the better part of the afternoon shipping a lot of things. And so I've been a little busy. But anyway, the title of the thing here was things that tear us apart and things that bring us together. And again, like I said, sometimes talking about things that not everyone is interested in can turn people off, and they think that it's an affront to them or a comment on them. And it really isn't. Everyone has their own priorities in life. And that's kind of what I was going to talk about today, generational things. And I know I have a pretty, not real broad range, but from 40 to 65 is my biggest group of people that watch pretty steadily. So I'm wondering, I'm going to take a little bit of a census here and ask you a question as to who was and this is kind of, even the word teen idol totally ages me, right? But I want to ask you whether you're male or female, and whether the idols were male or female, because I had some female idols that I absolutely adored. And sitting here on YouTube watching their old movies because I used to just admire them so much. I thought they were like the prettiest women and I wanted to look like them, and just looking at them made me, it just made me happy. I like to look at movies and things with beautiful people in them. I really do. And I like good stories and all of that too, but I like the way they dress and so forth and so on. So John, okay, there's 1987, right? John Cusack. Mine was like, David Jones from the Monkees. Let me see, who else? David Jones from the Monkees. Chicago's Robert Lamb. I got to see him in person a few times. People like that were definitely, and the females were, I think, people like Olivia Hussey. Who were the other female artists that I used to love to watch? And Patti Smith, let me see, who else? The one from the Pretenders. Is it the Pretenders? I forgot her name, but I used to love her. But movies and music, if you guys can just, Sam Elliott. Oh, yeah, Sam Elliott for sure. But yeah, David Jones. Does anybody remember Saji Khan? Does anybody remember Tiger Beat magazine? And all that money we spent on those magazines and those fabulous posters in our rooms. Your sister met Davy Jones. Oh my goodness. I actually met David Cassidy. David Cassidy was another one. I was heartbroken when he passed. I met him once he had already passed his idolhood, so to speak. He was a grand marshal to one of the parades here in Houston. So I got to see him, and he was still gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But that was definitely another one, David Cassidy. And I'll never forget, I broke up a friendship almost, but we got back together because my friend won front row seat tickets to that concert. And I thought she was my best friend, but apparently she had another best friend because we were three musketeers, right? But you know what they say, there's always only one best friend. So anyway, she invited the other girl to go with her, and I didn't get to go. Oh my gosh, talk about heartbroken. Talk about heartbroken. It was really, really a sad state of affairs when your friend has to choose who to take to see. The Partridge Family. It was actually the Partridge Family that she won. You're 32, but you looked at people. Oh, fabulous. I'm glad you're here. And I love your name, Glass-Winged Angel. Tiger Beat. Yes, all of them. And of course, I loved Elvis, but I loved Elvis because I grew up with him, with my parents loving him. And my dad is the one that took me to see him 2 times when I was 10, 12 years old. And it was more like just an absolute dream. It was like a stage production. It was not like nothing ever seen before, right? So that was a different kind. It really wasn't like a teen idol, though as I grew up, he still was beautiful. He's a good looking man and I love his music. So then it grew into that kind of thing, but it was just on a different plateau to me. But most definitely, and of course, the music, was kind of dates us as well. The Eagles, I saw them in person, that kind of stuff. But the 3 tenors, I've never even, are those the opera? Is that the opera, Guillermo? I think so. But I was thinking about all of that because some of us are in such different stages of our lives. And growing up, not growing up, but putting out content for a long time here. I've been here about 6 years. I've, made many friends, and I've gotten to know a lot of people, and their lives have also changed completely. And, they've divorced, they've lost loved ones. We've lost loved ones as well. I've lost loved ones, and we've shared all of that. And, or we're I had one subscriber write to me not too long ago who hadn't actually commented in probably 5 years and wanted to know how I was, and said she'd been enjoying this channel throughout, but she'd been through a lot of turmoil herself. Lost her mother, was thrown for a loop for a couple of years with that, and still, I'm sure, mourning her. And then she had cancer and recovering cancer and all of that. So it's just, a thing that I think a lot of us go through at different stages in our lives. And some of us go through it younger. I know my best friend lost her father when she was 16. I lost my father 7 years ago. I'm still blessed with my mother, but many of us are widowed now, or divorce. Divorce has come and gone for a lot of us here on YouTube as well that I've known. And, several, even 2 marriages that I've seen. And so I just feel like sometimes we tend to think we don't have much in common here, but in reality we do. Or, we're nursing our our loved ones that are sick and all of that. And we're really kind of torn apart. And a lot of times I feel like they're calling us now, we even have a name, we're called the sandwich generation, because we're torn between our kids and we're torn between our parents and helping our parents who may be aging. I have neighbors who have moved out of state to go, stay with aging parents. And it's just really different. We used to be so different here, even in our own neighborhood, and my neighbors and friends. And now we rarely see each other. And I ran into some at the gym the other day. That was another reason that I started thinking about this. We hadn't seen each other. We hadn't talked in about 6 years, and we are neighbors. We live in the same neighborhood. And of course, we had good news and bad news, lost parents. Kids are in college. One is already in medical school and all that good stuff. So it's just good to understand the kind of things that we're going through, I think, and how we're all in a different stage in life when we're older, but sometimes people go through it younger. I have a cousin who's not even 40, and she's widowed. And it doesn't just happen when you're in your 60s or 70s that you become widowed. It can happen through an accident, through a car accident, what like happened to my cousin, And I just would think we need to be cognizant of that and how people are not always in the best of moods. And I run into that a lot in the people that I deal with at work, the person that I am. I find myself trying not to be a moody person. I don't want to be that cranky old lady. And I find myself being that cranky old lady a lot of times. I really do. And I have to hold back and say, wait a minute, what are you even thinking? And why do you even care? It's hard. It's a hard place to be, but I think it's a good thing that we can talk to ourselves and tell ourselves, your thinking is wrong. Maybe your time has come to think this way, because we're so critical to say, oh, I don't like the way it is. I don't like the way they're doing it now. We did it better, so forth and so on. I think we're all struggling with the same fears, whether we are liberal, conservative, single, married, it happens. And I think if we just remain open to what other people may be going through and not go there. I don't want to go there. And I find myself doing that and having to stop myself from being that way. You lost your best friend in a car accident when she was very young. Exactly. And I lost a few friends as well. A few friends in high school as well. Not my best friend, though. And I really feel pain, and I feel your pain, Don. I'm sorry about that. I know you probably still hurt for that. It's horrible. It's horrible when the young pass like that, and that potential just gone. It's really hard to face that. You're cranky. No, I mean, I do see myself feeling that way, and I have to stop myself. I literally talk to myself and say, okay, go get another cup of coffee. And even our principal sometimes will, because she'll hear it in the emails to each other. We can tend to be, really quick, like, oh, really? Well, we did it this way, we did that way. When you answer an email from, in her office email, and she always sends out a newsletter, guys, remember to take a deep breath and read that email 3 times before you hit submit. And it's so true, because sometimes we're so quick on that draw. It's just crazy. But anyway, guys, thank you for being here. Be sure and hit that thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed this kind of chit-chat video that we're talking about today. They do call us the sandwich generation. It is a tough call. Again, I brought it up because my husband and I were talking about one of my coworkers who had to take the whole week off last week, and we all had to pick up the slack. And, she's the head of our department, of our special education department. But I was telling him how she was writing to us while she was in the hospital with her mother, who's already in and out of the hospital and very ill. I believe she's in her late 70s already. And she was writing to the department to tell us, oh, I'm getting so much done. You wouldn't believe the work I got done while I'm here at the hospital. And he's like, why would she even bother? If that was my mother, my only priority would be on my any mother, mother or father, or any relative, any loved one would be on that. And I said, I know. But sometimes, you know, people feel guilty about leaving their work for even a minute. And it's not that they feel guilty. I think they feel like they're going to be criticized. And I don't know. That's the last thing people need is when she comes back, for someone to tell her, well, you weren't here, or so forth and so on. And understand that she is a part of that generation. She doesn't actually have children. She does not have children, but she's definitely, has a home that she maintains. She has a husband and all of that. So she's torn between that and then with work. And it's so hard. I mean, it's a good thing that she has a salary job where she can take that time off. And now they do have some legislation, I believe, where you can have some of that family leave, because it was so hard before for people to have to choose that. I just cannot even understand how we took so long to have that. But God, let me see what you guys said in the back. He's very sick with diabetes. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's what you have to do. Just tend to your loved ones. In the end, that's what I remember when I was talking to my son and my granddaughter, and we were FaceTiming. It was like, I think 7 in the evening. And this was last year when I was in my classroom. And I said, you know what? I closed my laptop so I could talk to him on my phone. I said, I'm done for the evening. That's enough of that. I know that if I get a heart attack right here in this classroom, they'll bring a stretcher in, they'll get me out, they'll have a sub the next day, they'll have a new hire in a week. I'm easily replaceable. But talking with your loved ones, taking time to be with them, tending to their needs, and allowing yourself to tend to your own needs too, is a lot more important than that 9 to 5. I think my husband said I wouldn't have even come back. I mean, if that's what it takes. Sometimes you really shouldn't have to choose, but it's hard when you have a job where they make you choose, or they make you feel guilty for it. It's crazy. I'm so sorry, Miss Sherry. So sorry to hear that. Love yourself and your family, because in the end, that's all you have, isn't it? It doesn't matter how many promotions you get, how many titles you get behind your name. In the end, that's all we have, the people that love us, most definitely. And that's why I just wanted to kind of touch base with that, and how we should be understanding. I was telling my husband too that we have kind of a house, what do they call it? Hospitality fund for that we kind of pool our money and send, care packages or some plants or something, just to kind of, when someone loses someone or when someone's struggling with something, it's just part of the job. But when you know someone personally, it's really different too. It's like, reach out and see not only what you can send in flowers or whatnot, but in time. I mean, all people want to do, and this is what my sister told me when she lost her daughter, all people want to do is hear their name again. And that was another thing that I was struggling with this week, is what do we say to someone who just lost someone? And, and I know that I haven't walked in those shoes. So I still feel really awkward about, is it the right thing to say? Should I say anything at all? And then it feels weird when nobody says anything at all, So you just say what you can say. And I think people appreciate that, no matter what it is, no matter how awkward it comes out. Just the fact that you can say their name and all of that, I think it just makes that person who lost someone, who is dealing with a loved one that's ill, feel cared for in some way. You saw Elvis in 77. I don't remember what year we saw him. I know we saw him at the Astrodome and at the San Antonio Arena. That was their big venue back then. Andy Gibbs, Sean Cassidy. Oh my goodness, Miss Julie, you're younger than me. Yeah, Sean was the little brother of David. He's really cute too. His dad was so good looking too, the one from Bewitched. Uncle somebody, wasn't it? Forgot his name. Or maybe I'm confusing him with somebody else. I forgot. He came out in another show too. He was really good looking. Looked just like David. Oh my goodness. Deb Vlogs, I'm so sorry. Yes. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. Hi, Miss Thelma Harper. I'm so glad you're here. Miss Verna. There is no one. My mother is suffering Alzheimer's. Yes. Oh, and that's another tough one. I have my stepsister is dealing with her mother right now, and unbelievable what she's posting a lot of things on Facebook about it. She's almost journaling it on Facebook, and of course, asking for prayers just for her comfort and I don't know. It's a whole different struggle. And then I have another aunt who's got dementia right now, and my cousin made a wonderful journal for her with big pictures and of them with big writing on who is who, and she remembers some things and other things she doesn't, but it's just kind of a way to jar the memory, and the doctor has told her to do that. So, and it's just a wonderful thing that she's doing too, because these photos have been scattered in boxes and so forth, and now they're bringing them together to present to her mother so she can start or keep remembering a few things about the family and not forget, that so-and-so married so-and-so, and they have 2 or 3 kids, and they're now doing this, playing piano and so forth. And it's such a hard thing to watch her go through that. And she's actually younger than my mother, a few years younger than my mother, yes. And her husband had the same thing, dementia. But that, for some reason, took him very, very quickly, less than a year, and he stopped eating. Thelma from Ritma, Ohio. How's the weather in Ohio? Oh, my daughter-in-law just FaceTimed me a little while ago. They were all wearing coats in Chicago. It's freezing. But she found some jewelry jars. I'm so excited. She's so sweet to do that. She actually showed me some milk glass, and then I jarred her memory. I was like, oh, I love milk glass, but is there any jewelry jars? And she said, let me go check. And she had a basket full, a cart full. And then we went through them, and I said, don't get these, and so forth. So anyway, she's lovely, and I'm glad she thought about me. That makes me feel really good when someone thinks about me, It's like, I don't know. That's another thing I'm always thinking, like, am I being like selfish? Is it considered selfish to want someone to think about you? Because I feel like as a mother, you're always thinking about everyone else, and then when somebody thinks about you and says, hey, I saw some milk glass, and, okay, I'll get you the jewelry jars. And she showed me some other jewelry. She got me that too. And then my little granddaughter says, so you can put them on your auction. They're so cute. And I didn't even know they watched my auctions. But apparently they've tuned in on Facebook a couple of times. So I was thrilled. I don't know. It just makes you feel good when they do that. Or, a couple of years ago, my son sent me a Valentine's card. I hadn't gotten a Valentine's card in probably 50 years, And I was just thrilled that he did that. It's a card. But it makes you feel good when someone's thinking about you. It really, really does. And then I feel like you shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't expect something. And it's not that I expect it, but it makes you feel good when it happens, Hey, Donatella, I'm so glad you're here. It's not selfish. Okay. Oh, my goodness. I remember you talked about that, Dawn, in a fire. I remember how you spoke about that. And oh, my goodness. I could see the pain in your face when you spoke about it. Because you're seeing that, even if, of course, you were hurt by it as well. But when you see someone suffer so much, and some never come back from it, or they never survive. That's why they call it survivors when you lose a child or when you lose someone that close is because you literally have to survive that, I feel. So it's hard to watch someone else suffer. I know uh, my husband has lost two brothers. He lost one in Vietnam and he lost one in a drowning accident, both at the age of 19. And when he speaks of what his mother went through and what he heard at night from her room, I mean, it just breaks your heart. It just breaks your heart. And I didn't know them at the time. So I guess he was about 15 when that happened. So yeah, it is super, super painful and something we should always be cognizant about, and support each other, support our coworkers. You don't have to know why or what or how serious, I mean, if they want to tell you, they'll tell you. But like I was telling her, I even wrote, you don't have to let us know that you're working from the hospital. Why would you even care about that? Just do what you have to do. The work is going to get done. We're going to have the meetings we need to have. If they're late, they're late. Life's going to go on. That child's still going to get service some way or another. It doesn't affect anything to where you have to actually feel like you need to be at work instead of, in the hospital with your loved one. Yeah. Let me see. 15 years ago with cancer. I'm so sorry, Doug. Yeah. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people too. They either collapse or they embrace life so much more and realize that you need to live like you're going to die tomorrow, and, love like you'll live forever and learn like you'll live forever, because as it says in the Bible, our days are numbered, and only He knows the number, right? Most definitely. And we know about Donatella's loss, her beautiful son, as well. Mm-hmm. And Donatella has a wonderful channel, in case any of you don't know. She does auctions, but she's done some wonderful videos on loss, and she reached a lot of people that night. And you touched a lot of hearts that night and comforted many people, because I think that's what people need is like an embrace. Like, I feel what you're feeling, because you do feel so alone. I talk about my niece because she was so close to me, but I remember the day we left the hospital that night, and many people have said this, that you go out and you see everything just happening. The world keeps going. The lights from the traffic are on. Cars are going. And you feel like, why did the world stop? My world just stopped. You almost feel it surreal. Like, this just can't be. Life can't just go on, So, but it does. And like I said last week, about when I look at my sister, and I just admire her so much that she still manages to smile, manages to laugh and make other people laugh. She's such a wonderful person. She's my absolute opposite. She knows how to carry a conversation with everyone. She will meet you for 5 minutes and you'll be her best friend within 5 minutes, I guarantee. So we're total polar opposites, but I think we're good for each other. And that's why I look at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just pray for her and continue to hope for the best, that she continue to be blessed in her life. But she's got a lot of philosophies about that too, and how she lost fear. She actually lost fear. She says that she used to be scared of this, or she used to be scared of that. She's like scared of nothing now. Like, she's had the biggest pain she could ever have, she tells me. Yeah, exactly, Donatella. Exactly. And that's the way I felt. And that was not even my daughter. So, drove on the highway in a snowy day, moving debris from the road. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Shortly after this happened, we joined a grief group called Bo's Place. And we were very comforted by that organization. We would meet every Tuesday. And we would have a potluck, and they would break out into groups because it was founded for children who had lost their siblings, but it is a wonderful organization, and we heard so many heart-wrenching stories of people that worked on the highway and just doing their job, and next thing you know, they're gone. A mother has lost a son. Yeah, she is Dawn. I would love for you to meet her. And she is, like I said, total opposite. She will drop the F-bomb at the drop of a hat. She just can't help it. I have to tell her, would you stop? You know, but just the way she is. She's very, very vivacious. She's very proper. She's always been in business. She's a salesman in business. She was in banking. But I think maybe because she was in banking and around a lot of the male influencer or something, and then she was in car finance, and she was just everywhere on that. So she is my total opposite, but I absolutely adore her. And yeah, wouldn't be, I don't know, wouldn't be me without her. That's all I can say. But guys, thanks for taking part today. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what is on your mind. What do you want to talk about next week? I wouldn't be rushing off if I didn't have to go on the treadmill to try to stave off some of that fat around that I get when I have to eat those Girl Scout cookies and things. But I really do need to get to the gym. I love going at 9 o'clock though, because I'm the only one there. It's fantastic. I get all the machines to myself. And like I said, it's only like 2 minutes away. So I am going to go over there and run around on that treadmill. And I love that as well. I don't think I mentioned it last time, but it's a stress reliever. When I'm feeling so anxious, and like right now, I'm reading all of these heart-wrenching stories, and everyone who mentioned a loss, I am so sorry for your loss. And I'm taking it with me right now. I really am. I feel it. But I go on that treadmill and I start sweating and drinking water and listening to some fabulous music, and I forget about it for a few minutes. And that's what matters, really. We really have to treat ourselves good. Treat ourselves and stop, drowning in it, because it's easy to drown yourself in it. And we're lucky if we do have that support system around us. And I really feel like I have it right here. I mean, honestly, I was even saying the other day to myself, who do I tell this to? Who do I tell? I was going through so much, and I think I told you I finally told my mother, and she's like, why do you hold things in? Well, I let it out here too. Because a lot of you I've known for a long time, and I feel I can trust you. And those that I can't, well, I'd soon learn that I can't. And that's okay too. Right? Because that's what makes the good ones even better. All right? Thank you so much, guys. I'll talk to you soon. I'll bring another video to you guys sometime during the week. We'll make it jewelry, or we'll make it a thrift haul. I need to go to Salvation Army this week. Do a little ride along from over there, see what we find. Have a wonderful night, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. I love y'all. See you soon.